Hello and welcome to Free Facebook Live with Khalida. Today we are going to work on one of my favorite transition movements, the side hip turn. And we will do this movement with no props, with a veil. So if you have a silk veil, go grab it. And a set of 2 fan veils. Also, these props are optional. You can simply do the movement without props or with props. Anyway, today I am not wearing blue. Blue was the color for my Boost program. Today I'm wearing pink for a very special reason. I want to celebrate, hello Caroline, I want to celebrate and thank Delana for hosting the online WOW 21 event over on Instagram Live. Hi Vanessa! And this is an event that started out very small and it's in support of Dance for Children. One moment. In support of Dance for Children. And together with all of the teachers, we are 11 amazing teachers and, and 170 or even more participants, we've been able to raise a decent sum of money, which was a lot more than we expected. We will do the reveal tonight on Instagram. And hello, hi Elise, hi Gary, it worked. So we will do the reveal on Instagram Live in the group today. Afterwards, we will do an official celebration video. But thank you, Delana. Thank you to everyone who participated at WOW. And there will be a second event. So if you want to hear me teach in German, there's a second chance to do that on Instagram Live starting January. So I'll be sure to update you. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Rosemary. So today we will work on something different. We've been working a lot on belly movements. And this one is more in the hips and in the legs. This means I want to warm up the hips a bit more. So if you have, I didn't mention it, but if you have a yoga block or 2 or something to stand on, a little step. Hi Marianne, hi Banani, hi Caroline, hi, welcome, hi other Marianne. So if you have 2 yoga blocks, we will warm up the hips with these extra because it will make it easier for you to turn out and that will make anything with traveling steps and turns easier. And this will be part of Season 2 of our Boost program. So if you're into leg work, we do the shimmies in the legs together. Hi Julia! Thank you also Julia for supporting Dance for Children this year. We are so happy. This month we will be doing the big transfer to Chameleon Philippines and they will receive all of your donations from this year. Hi Miko! Hello Japan! So let's warm up because I can keep talking. We're so happy. Let's warm up with music and then we'll warm up the hips extra and then we'll get going with the movements. Thank you all for being here, by the way. There will be 2 more of these free Facebook. Hi Maria! There will be 2 more of these free Facebook sessions this month and then next year there will be once per month or twice per month. It will depend. So it will be a bit less frequent when I start the Boost classes. But now that I have withdrawal symptoms, we only have 2 days now of the 4 weeks of class break and I miss everyone. So you'll see me every week until I can start again. Let's slide the hips side to side like last week in a 1, 2, 3 rhythm. My feet are parallel for now, but when I dance I will turn out my legs. So for now, my feet point straight to the front and then gently sliding the hips side to side. So exciting. We have already, I've been counting 32 enrollments for Boost 2021, which is more than I expected. Hi Nancy! So if you want to join me next year online, that will be the only big program that I do. It's 36 weeks. All levels are welcome, all styles are welcome. We work on the basics of movement, like here, but deeper, to give you more freedom to dance and then apply it to any style you like. So you can still sign up with early bird discount until end of this month, but if the places are gone, they're gone. So there's 17 more spots available and then there'll be a waiting list after that. I'll add the link. So if you want to join me, ask me questions, ask me anything you need to know and I'll help you out. You don't need to pay in December, the payments will be starting January, so you can relax over Christmas. Waving my arms and adding the head. 1, 2, 3. And now we'll deepen the hip slide. We'll need this for the turn. Trick of last week. Interlace your fingers. Hold them against your hip and press, press, press. Relax your head, relax your shoulders. Inhale here. Sorry, my watch is talking. Inhale here and exhale. Slide out. Try that again. Now feel if the range has opened a bit. Let's do second time. Same side. Inhale here, press, press. Exhale. A bit of PNF stretching. You can also do this against a wall, but I don't have a wall in the screen. Feel this. Maybe your hip now on one side can go a bit further. Let's even us out. Let's do the other side as well. So it's a very quick and easy trick. Do this before dancing, before practicing and before performing, with whatever joint needs. Inhale, press. Whichever joint needs a bit more opening, so you can dance with maximum range of motion in a safe way. Because we are strengthening, inhale, press, and then gently releasing. I'm not forcing anything. I'm just opening up and waking up my hip joints. Okay. After the sliding, shake out. Grab your 2 yoga blocks or step on a small step. We will have one leg hanging and we'll move the other hip to warm this up even more in order to give you more turn out. And for this I always have to see where you can see me with the comments. I think here is the best spot. But it'll be a balance challenge. So you get yourself on the blocks, a bit back so you can see the feet. Like that. Get yourself on the blocks, a little bit of elevation, so this leg can hang. I will be pulling up the front a bit. So this is nice and stable, and I'm pressing into the block to keep this horizontal. Otherwise, if I let it go, I will have a diagonal line. So I pull up the front here, activating, pressing the heel into the block. So this will kind of lift. Bang. Then from there, I am going to let the hip sink down and bring it back to the middle. Sinking down, we will feel a stretch here on the outside, down, and this feels so nice for the hips. You can do this every day, pulling up if you're not sore. If you're sore, you just wait a day until it's better. So down 2 times now, and up 2 times now. It's very good for hip drops and shimmies also. Now 1 down and middle, 1 up and middle. Okay, shake that out. Walk around. You might feel your hip now. Other side the same. So this is quick and easy and healthy for your hips. It'll balance out any imbalances also, or tell you if there's an imbalance, which is already good information. So I'm gently pulling up the front, like this, also for balance, and pressing this foot into the floor, into the block, until I see that this is more or less even. So use a mirror. Then you can hold a hand here to stabilize. Lift this, let's start with dropping. Drop this hip and back to middle. Drop it, back to middle. And the dropping will feel a lengthening here. I think that was 3, supposed to be 3. Then 3 times up, up, up. My leg stays straight. I'm not bending this leg, just so you know, you cannot see it. 2 times down, so it's all in the hip socket. 2 times up. How to talk and keep balance. 1 down, 1 up. Bend the knee, walk around, walk around. Yes, so that should be more even. Now we work on the turning out itself. This was the warm-up before that. So switch legs again. If you feel that you need one side more than the other, which is very common, you start on the more tricky side. Hi Glennis! Then you do the easier side and then you do the trickier side again, and this way you'll even it out. And you will remember to do it. So now I'm pointing my ankle like we did last week, and I'm turning out and in from the pelvis, so from this area. And with the floating leg, you cannot cheat with the foot. You will have to use your rotator muscles. Now flex the foot, flex the ankle, And do the same. I'll mimic with my arms so you can see what's happening. Trying to straighten, straighten, and push the heel out to stabilize. And then shake out, shake out, shake out. Carefully. Other side. And this might be very tiring, fatiguing for your hips in the beginning, but it will get stronger very fast. So do this in the break if your hips need a bit of love. Your body will love it. Okay, so pointing my ankle, toes point to the floor, turning out and in from here. I'll put my hand on it so you can see. And then flexing, turning out and also in. The more you can turn in, the more turning out will open. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. And then after a couple of times, see if you can lengthen and push your heel down more, because that opens up after a couple. Then shake out this knee, scoot the blocks to the side, all the way out of the view. And that's it. Walk around. This should feel nice. We have not done much upper body warm-up, but usually if you do the hips, the torso and shoulders relax and lengthen by themselves. So you don't have to do everything all the time. If you need it, you can add it, but this already helps for the top. So let me know how that feels. Sylviana, hello. Do you feel this? I feel it. I feel it. Now try again. Your hip slides and you might have even a bit more range. And try turning out and in. Turning out and in with a bent leg. Chances are now you feel what's happening right here. And that's very good for balance and for giving you more control when you turn and do traveling steps. Yes, yes, Elise, I think this might be helpful for Samba because you do so much amazing leg work and turns. Hopefully it will be helpful also for Samba. By the way, if you want to learn the basic step of Samba, Elise has donated to our Dance for Children channel a wonderful video which we translated to English in the subtitles for those who don't speak French. I love it, I've done it, so if you want to, you can get this video forever for download for a donation of €5 or more, and it goes fully to Dance for Children and we send it fully to Chameleon Philippines. So, so you can apply this to Samba. I'll add the link after class. Let's go into the turn. Let's go into the turn. This turn with the hip out is one of my favorite transitions, and I use it for props, for no props, and for different styles. If you are in a Majansei, so an oriental song with different rhythms and different moods, you can use this to go from fast and upbeat traveling to slow and taksim, because you can make the turn quick and then the landing nice and slow. Or you can simply use this. Yes and no, Rosemary. I'm happy you know her. Jill Miller was also the inventor of my favorite massage balls. She has taught me the exercise with the block. And the turning out and turning in is something I learned from my ballet teacher and also from Monica Volkmar. So it's a mix of my favorite good for my hips exercises. And the stretching with resistance and opening up the hips, that's from Stacey Nemours. So I'll add all of them. It's good to give credit, especially at the end of the year, because you can study with each of them separately also. Jill has a book, Stacey has a flexibility course, and my ballet teacher doesn't teach online externally, but she has also for Dance for Children a 45-minute ballet basics class where I am a backup girl and Anna. And you can learn ballet basics, and this is very good for traveling steps and turns as well, and for posture and arms. So I'll add her as well. Thank you, Rosemary. Hi, Gemma. Welcome. So we are back to the turn. The turn starts with crossed legs. So what I do to prepare it, to make it easier, is my standing leg, I turn it out. Not my body, so you don't see it, but my leg rotates like we did on the block out to start. And if I would stand on it, I win already almost a quarter. Hi, Gracie. I win almost a quarter of my turn, so it will make it easier. If I want to make it even easier, I don't start here, but I start here and then turn out. And then my foot is pointing already there. When I end this turn, I will not end up here or here. I will end up here. So it's a 3/4 turn, not a full turn. So if you're not very turned out like me, this is still a great one to also change directions. So you can change moods, speed, direction, and level. This also goes from high up to low. So it's a very nice change of scene. What happens is, I'll show you the other side. I start like this, mostly. I could also start like this. Then I turn out the leg where I will go even more, so my foot now points that direction. I cross and I might turn my shoulders towards the audience again. My hips are there, my foot is there, my chest might be here. So I keep communicating. I cross this leg and I turn this one out also, so maybe you can see if I let my knee hang and I turn this out, my foot will already go there, so it's all in the hips. From there I drop my knee, so my legs go close together, and hopefully you can see, and my foot goes close back. I don't put it out too far. If I would do that, I would end up out of balance because my feet are so far apart. So the closer I can make them, the easier my end pose will be to get in. Oh, nice! Lucky you! Thank you! I love these colors also. They are for Delana, for the WOW event, but I also love it because it matches my veil and my fan veils. I love color matching, what can I say? So the other side, let's practice together. Start from the front so you can see me. Then turn out this leg, whatever side that may be for you, by rotating it out before you land. This way you have all these, this way you have a bit of tension that will bring you around also. You are lengthening these fibers, and then when you let go, you might notice as soon as this foot leaves, your hip wants to go. So you resist it with the power of your glutes a little, and if you cannot, simply twist your upper body to hide it. Yes, it's a tricky one, but it's so nice. Once you have it forever. Now you turn out this leg for a nice line from here, and you bring the knees close together. So the foot also can go close together. I'll do slow motion. Now all I do is I squeeze the legs together and it will bring me around already. I leave my heels off the floor, but you don't have to be in high releve. And see what happens? Simply by squeezing, my legs will unravel. I land on the back foot and I can turn out this leg and I'm in an instant pose. So whatever happens, if I arrange the legs, I am free to know I can dance because my feet are already in a nice position. So it yes, this one took me a long time to understand. This is why I have many tips. I practiced and I researched this one until it stuck for me, and now it's one of my favorites. So I hope it's the same for you. I hope you can use it and enjoy this for your future dances because it's very versatile. Other side the same. So by doing it, it will become more natural, more easy. Now we're not doing any hip slides yet. This is the base under it, which already is nice. So now let's begin starting a bit diagonal, which is usually how this happens. Twist your upper body towards the audience to give you more presentation. You're still dancing here. This is all sneaky. This leg is turned out a bit. This leg is turned out a lot. Knees go close. Foot goes behind, but I'm not making a banana foot. I hope you can see this. I'm not grabbing with my foot. I still keep my foot turned out, if that makes sense. I'm not turning my foot in. I'm only using my legs and ankles. Keeping turn out in the foot will help me to have a better landing position. From there, I squeeze everything together, not the face. And you can even spot and look at the audience longer if you want. I unravel and I think of turning out both legs. And if I do that, the landing will happen. Once this leg is settled, I plie to ground myself and to end the pose. And you can do this plie as a drop, falling, or you can gently sit down. And when I do that, I use my Monday squats from the Boost classes. We work on this movement as a warm-up on 2 legs. You can use it on 1 leg for any level change in dance. Capiche? Does this make sense? It is simple, but it's beautiful. Yes, 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 yes. The foot position, actually the hip rotation changes everything. Now let's try it. Let's try it. I've been dancing so much that my pants keep moving. Let's try it now with a hip slide, which is the one that I like, because if you have a skirt and you slide the hip out and turn, what happens will be a kind of whoosh. You don't want to do the whoosh with your head. You want to have your hip swivel out and back, which means your skirt will do like that, as if it were a veil. Your skirt will land after you. Your hair, if it's long, I used to have very long hair, it's growing again. Your hair will swivel after you, and you'll have a bonus accent, which is usually in the music after a switch. This is moving fabric and moving hair or jewelry or whatever, or your props. And that makes it a magical movement. So I'm happy. I'm happy I remembered that I wanted to teach this one. I almost forgot. Other side the same. What I do with the hips, if I keep them under me for the beginning. So I'm only doing rotation, rotation, crossing, ankle, foot turned out, not in, squeezing. And as soon as I see the back, or as soon as my hip is in the corner, I will do, show you from here, I will do a simple hip slide towards where I'm going, as if I'm grabbing the audience with me. So what happens is, seen from the front, if I would start my turn from here, that's the corner, I will bring my weight a bit to the ball of the foot and then slide the hip out and then do the back quarter of a circle. So it's this movement. Weight to the front, weight to the side, weight to the back. Other side, we practice this with one heel lifted, the one where you do the circle, because in the turn you will have your heels off the floor, otherwise you get stuck. So lift this heel, but keep the hips level like we did on the block. Now you have this power. Lift the heel, no hips moving, shift the weight to the front and make a big circle to the side. It's okay if you move the upper body a bit, as long as you don't only move the upper body, that's a bit too fusion. So the hips have more movement and you can simply react to it. But try it first with just the hip. It's front, a lot of side, a lot of back. A little front, a lot of side, a lot of back. And this in itself can be a movement without the turn. Other side, just the hips. Side and back. Front, side and back. Front, side and back. Front a lot, side and back. Optionally, when you go back, you can bend this knee. Same squat pose. That will be if you add the level change. Okay, a lot of information. Good, 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 good. Yes, now you have a good start, I think, for this turn. It's doable, it's doable. If you understand it and practice it at your own pace, you will have it. And then you teach it to someone else and you'll have it forever. So again, I turn out, I cross, ankle turned out too. I squeeze, my heels leave the floor. As soon as I hit that with my head or my hips are there, my weight will shift a bit to the front. I'm simply moving it to the ball of my feet. I'm not sliding the hips out too far, I'm just moving the weight, ball of my feet, and then I grab the air with my hip. So my feet don't even move anymore. It's just hip to end the turn. Other side, let's do each side 2 times more. Without music, just to practice. Okay, crossing, turning out, squeezing. Try to find the best time for the hip. There will be a moment where you can do it. If you do it too early, if the legs are still crossed, the hip has no place to move. So as soon as you uncross, you can do the hip. Either up with just hip, but I like, as you can see, I like the one with the squat. I now have strong legs after Saturday's Fearless Floor work. If you haven't seen it, probably you have seen it because I've posted it everywhere, but there I made a 1-hour free workshop, Fearless Floor work, for everything level changes to strengthening and to beautiful movements on the floor that you can do even as a beginner dancer. So it's not too advanced, no backbend splits yet. But if you want to explore floor work as part of dance and not just and not too difficult, check out Fearless Floor Work. Hopefully it will be of help. You will have strong legs after that one. Okay, other side. Crossing, turning out, ankle turned out also. Feel when you can, and a hip. Last time, crossing. Now I'm looking at you guys for longer to show you the spot. Then as soon as I unspot is when I do the hip. So you can use the spotting if you like to spot. Let's try this on the other side. If you like to spot, use the moment that you turn your head to start focusing on the hip. Okay, does this make sense? Are you ready to try this? Are you ready to try this with music? I'm gonna assume yes. Okay. We'll do one song with no props, and then we'll go into props as a bonus for today, so it'll be a tiny bit longer. Okay, so we will be dancing. Let's use the movements from last week. Vertical figure eight. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube now, but also in the group. Nice. Go on the toes, and the mid-level change. Again, on the toes. Good, thank you. And level change. Let's turn. Slow first. Opening the arms. Other side. I'm showing you some different arms that you can play with. Yes, the ending lines, you take your time. I go very slow and I keep this foot flat, and then it's only the hip. It's like a separate movement that I do after almost. And from there I add arms. So I keep this as it is. I finish my turn and now I do the nice ending. And it becomes more smooth as you practice. Okay, let's shimmy now. And slide the hips. And try again. And you come up with a shimmy. Other side again. No shimmy in the turn. And when you're back, you start to shimmy to come up. One more. Pose. Okay, let's grab some props. Let's grab some props, not plops. I'll start with the veil, because I think more people probably have a veil than fan veils. But since we did fan veil boost, there's more students and professional dancers. There's a mix of levels that had not danced with fan veils before, and now they have. And as far as I know, most people now love it that didn't even know they would love it. And that makes me happy, because fan veils are a lot of fun. It doesn't even matter which style you like to do. It just gives you a lot of feedback for the movements that you do. So it's also good practice. For veil, you could have the veil in front. We'll also do veil and fan veils, by the way, in Boost 2021. In season 3, we will do arms and props. So if you sign up for the whole thing, you will get everything. Isolations first, shimmies, legs, and then we add upper body. So I'm crossing the legs, this is the same. And then you can open the veil and do the next movement. So, same thing. You cannot see my legs now, but I'm trusting that you remember. I'm turning out, crossing. And as I'm landing, my hip will move, you don't see it, but as my hip moves, I will open my arms. And because my hips go back, I have now space free, still opening my shoulders for the veil in front, and that will give me a transition to other movements. So that's one. Yes, fan veil, that's what I would call it now. With the veil behind you, you can also have some nice movements. So here it is a frame. I'm crossing. And the crossing itself is a nice pose. I can push out my hip a bit for better pictures. I turn, and then I can bring the veil in front and around, because it mimics the movement of the hip and it follows the flow. So it's in the direction that I turn. Same side again, turn. I'll do nothing until I land. When I land, I've been turning in that direction. If I do the hip, my body will tell me which direction to put the veil. If you let it go, it will happen. Other side the same. So here we have veil stuff. You can already push out the hip so you don't forget. Turning. And when you land and do the hip, your arms will naturally go in the direction. One more. Variation. Variation. You can also end, if your dancing was a veil intro, and then after that you want to do hips. One move that I use here is flipping the veils on my arms, and then I go into hip work, because a new rhythm, a new style might be after the veil intro. So I'll show you that one too. From here, I cross, and when I land, I don't bring the arms back behind me, but as I do the hips, I do a little flip. I flip my palms up, and I catch. I don't let go of my veil, I still have it. I still have it pinched. And then I can do a bit of real belly dance, that what usually follows after a veil intro. Oh, I don't know, Rosemary, but hopefully the replay, if the connection is wonky, the replay will be smooth anyway, unless I lose video. I haven't seen it here, so hopefully, hopefully you can still see me, and otherwise afterwards the recording will be smooth. Other side. As I go back, that's when I do the little palms up flip. I finish the movement and I go into the next style. Okay, one more. Fan veils. Fan veils, and grab them. Fan veils, also a lot of fun, because you have fabric moving around you in a turn. So if you were to have the fan veils closed, you could do a kind of lasso. If I turn in that direction, okay, good to know. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. One never knows with technology. So I'm doing a little lasso, and lasso is, if I had a hat, I would remove my hat from the front. That's what happens. And then I land. And if you do this with open veils, I did it with closed so you can see better, but open is my favorite. I will bring this arm over my head if I turn there. I have to have this other hand a bit in front of me so I don't step on the veil, so that's what will happen. But this one, if I go there, is the one that goes around me, and then I have transition. So other side the same. This one will be just out of the way. This one will point in the direction where I turn. So I have a little loop, and then level change. Yeah, okay. So I'm not gonna make the prop stuff too complex because I know not everyone has fan veils yet. Maybe later in the year, if you join the boost, you might get them and you might love it afterwards. Now let's do one more, final one, and then I put everything to music, and that I call the Shakira transition, the Shakira dip. And that one is beautiful if you have long hair, but even if you have short hair and do the arms, it looks nice. So what I call the Shakira is what I remember from one of her clips, and I found it so impressive, is when she dips to the front. I use the same trick, sliding the hips back. I'm not rounding, I'm sliding the hips back. I don't bend very far. You can, but you don't have to. From here I simply relax. I cross my arms very tight, and then I bring my elbows up first, so I don't uncross. I bring the elbows up, and then it will catch my hair. And then I keep the elbows up, and I lengthen my arms. So I'm giving you a bit of everything. A bit of a taste of everything we'll do in Boost. Legs, arms, props, and isolations. From here, your hair will catch if it's long enough. And you can move from there and then open. And if you do the turn, you can end in this dip. and have a Shakira transition for the next move that you do. So that's my bonus for this one. Let's try that together. First, just a dip. Have one foot a bit in front for balance, turning out for a nice line. Slide both the front of your pelvis, you slide it straight back like the back of a circle, and then you bend the knee. So my weight's all the way in the heels. I keep my face lifted as long as I can, and then when I cannot hold this any longer, I relax and I cross my arms. I bring the elbows up first, then I keep my wrists crossed, and then I open, widening, sliding the chest out. Also good for pictures, like that. Yes. With the turn, it's the same, it's just a movement that you do after, so it's not a layer that you add, it's just a bonus transition. When the hips go back, prepare to exhale, and you inhale, you take your time for this, and then you move. And if you want to learn a Shakira style choreo, we have from Kasia Bronca, also for Dance for Children, a charity video that you can get for €5 or more if you want, in our Dance for Children video channel. So we have samba, we have ballet, and we have Shakira style. And I know not many people have gotten these videos yet, so this is your chance. Now that I'm not teaching for 4 weeks, only on Wednesdays, your chance to check out our beautiful online charity teachers. I will add the link. Anyway, we have turning, basic, turning with a bit of a hip, turning with a bit of hip with a dip. Then you can do this with a veil, front or back, fan veils, close or open, and the Shakira to end. Let's do all of that with music. Vertical figure eights with a bit of undulation. Turning, just a turn and a little bit of hip. And you can keep this hip going if you want. Other side the same. I'm twisting the upper body to the audience first, but this stays to make it easier. Adding some arms. You can wrap yourself and then unwrap. Wrap and unwrap. Or you keep the hands up high and then bring them low. Up high and bring one low. Okay? With more hip, starting with a shimmy and ending with a shimmy. Crossing, dip, and you come up with a shimmy. Other side the same, crossing, back, up with a shimmy. One more with the Shakira. And there you go. Okay, so that's with no props. Let's do a different music, a different song with veil and fan veils. And that will be our cool down also. Thank you for being here today, by the way. I keep saying it, but I mean it still. I'm very happy that I get to share my living room moves with you. This is also the place where all of my choreographies for the last 18 years have started. I always start my dances in my head, in the car, in the shower, thinking, and then I make the first physical version here in my living room. And then if I have time and budget, I take it to the studio for a big stage, but usually I dance it here and I make it bigger wherever I go. So all of my dances that you see on YouTube, I've all made them here. It's the place of creation, and also now for me, the place where I get to connect with you all. So it's very precious to me that I get to do these sessions. Thank you for the trust. Thank you for trusting me with your time and for being here. Special thank you to those who's already joined in the past year, my Boost classes, and those who, maybe even without knowing me, will join me next year. I appreciate getting to do this. Because it's keeping me moving, it's giving me purpose. And it's a nice feeling to know. It's a nice feeling to know that we can dance together, no matter what happens. Yes, yes, yes. The balance will come. The balance will come. I still lose balance every now and then. I just keep poker face, which is also something to practice. So let's have the veil behind, crossing, and then for the landing, I continue to move with the veil. Other side. Now I'll do the one where I flip the veil up on landing. Other side. And again we pause. Okay. For the fan veil lovers, those who don't have fan veils, you can use the veil again. You can even do this one-handed veil around your head as a move, or get creative with whatever you have. Or you do fan veils, or the arms, Hi Sabine. You can watch the replay. We're almost finished, but I'll put it up in the group in a moment. Okay, with fan veils. Always test backstage, or switch with poker face. Let's do a normal turn first. Just moving. And then with a dip. So anytime I cross the legs, whoop, sorry, to remove a message. Every time I cross the legs, I add the dip, and then I continue whatever movement I'm doing with my arm. So if this feels behind, this in front, I cross, and when I land, I make space for the veil. Now let's try with the overhead and down. Again, overhead and down. Yes, you will have them forever, or as long as the internet exists. I have made a backup on YouTube of all these videos, so if you want to find them all, you can. They are available on YouTube and in the Facebook group here. If you have fan veils, simply try it a couple of times. Adding a prop is tricky for balance, but it also will give you intense practice. And then you add movements afterwards. You can do this turn just once in a dance, and you play with it. Let's do Shakira quickly before the music ends. And the finale. Okay, that was it for this week. I will be online again next Wednesday. See you there. Let me know if you need any movements, if there's anything you haven't done this year that you would like this one, that you would like some tips about. I'm open for suggestions. Otherwise, I'll make a plan and we'll see you next week. So, if you have any questions about Boost, let me know. I will add all the Dance for Children links that I mentioned and all the videos that you can get. And that's it from me for this week. Thank you very much and enjoy.